In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a high pressure pump on your Nissan Armada. Located under the hood of the vehicle, let's get started. Moving under the hood, we're going to locate the fuse box for the fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and take the lid off. And if you notice over here, it's going to be a 15 amp fuse for the fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and use some needle nose pliers to pull it out. It'll be this one right here. Using a needle nose pliers, go ahead and take it out. Put it to the side. We're going to be putting that back later. The next thing you need to do, you need to run the vehicle and wait for it to basically die on its own. That's going to assure that there's going to be no fuel pressure on the lines. Let's remove the negative terminal. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and loosen it. Do not take the nut completely off. Wiggle the terminal out and move it to the side. Now we can go ahead and start the process of removing the fuel pump. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this engine cover. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and take these two 10mm bolts out. Once you remove those, simply grab onto the cover and slide it towards the front of the vehicle. Move it to the side. To get better access to the high pressure pump, we're going to go ahead and just move this tank to the side. So using a 10mm socket, go ahead and take these two 10mm bolts out. Now simply grab onto the reservoir and move it to the side. Next up, we're going to go ahead and disconnect this. Move it to the side. Using some needle nose pliers, I'm going to go ahead and move the clamp so I can disconnect the hose. Just move the hose to the side. Now we're going to do this one. Go ahead and do the same thing. Wiggle the hose side to side and pull it out. Now we can go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver and get this clamp loose. Do not take it out all the way. We can now go ahead and unplug this. Grab the connector, move it to the side. Now using a flathead screwdriver, we're going to go ahead and take this off. We're going to come in from the inside. We're going to push in on the clip and pull it out. Just like that. Now we're going to have a series of clips going around the box. Go ahead and clip them off. Moving to the inner side of the box, we're going to have another one. Go ahead and unclip it. We now should be able to grab onto this, pull it out, and do the same thing on the throttle body. Go ahead and wiggle it, and just move the whole assembly to the side. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and unbolt the throttle body. Using an 8mm socket, go ahead and unbolt it. There's going to be 4 bolts all around. Go ahead and take those off. With the bolts out of the way, go ahead and move the throttle body away from the manifold. Next up, we need to take this plastic clip off. Using a flathead screwdriver, go ahead and put pressure on one side. Do the same on the other side. And slide it out. Go ahead and move it out of the way. Using some needle nose pliers, we're gonna go ahead and move this clamp. And now we can disconnect that hose. Go ahead and wiggle it side to side. And pull it out. Move the hose to the side, away from the manifold. With the engine cover out of the way, now we can see our fuel pressure pump. But we need to move this coolant line out of the way so we can get better access to the pump. There's gonna be two 10mm bolts that we need to remove and this one line that we need to disconnect. Using needle nose pliers, go ahead and move this clamp. Go ahead and disconnect that hose. Move it to the side. And now we have this one 10mm bolt that we need to remove. Using a 10mm wrench, go ahead and take it out. Here's the bolt. Now we can go ahead and remove this one. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and take this bolt out. Now we can go ahead and unclip this hose. And now we can move this whole assembly from the top of the high pressure pump. Now we have better access. Next up, we need to remove the bracket that holds this harness in place. It's gonna be located right over here. There's gonna be one 10mm bolt that we need to remove. Now go ahead and use a 10mm wrench and take the bolt off. Remove the bolt. And now we can move this bracket away from the manifold. Using a 10mm wrench, go ahead and remove this bolt. Move the bracket away from the manifold. We're gonna have a series of 10mm bolts that are gonna be around the outside area of the manifold. Using a 10mm socket and a ratchet, go ahead and start taking them out. I'm gonna go ahead and start from the back. Go ahead and get it loose. Remove the bolt. And we're gonna be repeating the same process on all the other ones. There's gonna be 5 bolts on each side. So just keep that in mind. And now we have one more on this side. Go ahead and remove it. There's gonna be 5 more on the other side. Go ahead and repeat the process. We're gonna have 5 more on the opposite side of the plenum. Just keep in mind they're gonna be on the same exact locations, just a mirror image. Using the same 10mm socket, go ahead and take them off. Repeat that process. Now we should be able to grab the manifold, lift it, and pull it out of the way. And as we can see right here, this is going to be our high pressure fuel pump. One thing I like to do, I like to grab a rag, make sure that it is a clean rag and it's not full of debris. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the intake holes. Since we're going to be working around this area, we don't want anything going inside those holes. That's going straight into the engine. So just keep that in mind. Now we can go ahead and grab onto this foam, pull it out. And here's the high pressure fuel pump. We're gonna have two 12mm nuts that we need to remove and these two high pressure lines. We're gonna start by taking off this fuel line using a 19mm wrench. Go ahead and get it loose. Once you get it loose, go ahead and move the line away from the pump. Just like that. Next up, we're going to be using a 21mm socket to remove this bolt. Go ahead and get it loose. And I'll remove the bolt. Make sure you keep an eye on this crush washer. We're going to be needing that after. Now we can go ahead and remove these two 12mm nuts. Just keep in mind, we need to gradually remove them. Do not take one completely out. We have to take them out slowly. Using a 12mm socket, start loosening it. Work your way around. Go ahead and remove the nuts. Now that we have the nuts off, we have one electrical connector that we need to disconnect. It's going to be right over here. Go ahead and squeeze on the tab and pull it out. Move the connector to the side. And now we can go ahead and lift the pump out. Go ahead and grab the pump and slide it out. Before we go ahead and install the replacement pump, we're going to go ahead and clean the surface. Using a wipe, go ahead and wipe off any excess or debris that's around the area. You want to make sure that this right here is nice and clean because there's going to be an O-ring that goes right here. We can now go ahead and slide the pump in, making sure the connector is facing the front of the vehicle. Line up the holes. We can now go ahead and plug it in. Push the connector all the way. Make sure you hear a click and just give it a light tug to assure that it is secure. Now we can go ahead and install the two nuts. Start it by hand. And now we're going to start tightening these in sequence. It's going to be the same way that we did when we removed it, tying a little bit at a time. You're going to do this until it's all the way bottomed out. Now we can go ahead and get it torqued. Go ahead and torque them to 15 foot-pounds. Now we can start by putting this line on. Go ahead and lift it. We can slide the crush washer. It should look something like this. Go ahead and line it up with the hole. Grab the banjo bolt, slide it through, and start it off. Bottom it out. And now we can install this one. Go ahead and line it up and start it by hand. Go ahead and get it snug. And now we can torque it. We can go ahead and torque this one to 14 foot-pounds. Now we can torque this line to 14 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead and remove the rag. Now we can go ahead and install the foam. Slide it in. Make sure you bottom it out. And now we're ready to install the plenum. And here we have the plenum. One thing you want to make sure, you want to take a look at the gaskets on each of the runners. Make sure that they're not dried out, rotted, or broken. If they are, they will need to be replaced. Now we're ready to install it. Go ahead and slide it in. We're going to feed it through the same way we removed it. Making sure we line up the holes. Now we can go ahead and start putting the bolts in. Go ahead and start putting all the bolts in. I'm going to go ahead and start from the front, making sure that you lined up the holes. We can go ahead and start getting everything snugged. By hand, start bottoming them out. Now we're gonna have 5 more on the opposite side. We're gonna repeat that process. If you have issues getting them in, I recommend using a magnet, putting the bolt onto the magnet, and fish it through. Go ahead and snug them out by hand. Next up, following the sequence shown on screen, I'm gonna go ahead and torque them to 11 foot-pounds. Now we're ready to install the throttle body. You want to make sure you inspect the gasket before you go ahead and install it. If it's cracked or dried out, you will replace it now. Go ahead and get the throttle body closed, line up the holes, and install the bolts. Now we can go ahead and snug them up. And now we can torque them. Now I'm gonna go ahead and torque these to 10 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. Now we can go ahead and install this hose. Grab onto it, push it in, make sure you bottom it out, and now reinstall the clamp. Now we can go ahead and plug this in, clip it here, and I'll get the electrical connector in. Line it up, push it in, let's give it a light wiggle, make sure that it's secure. Now we can go ahead and bring this on. We're gonna start by lining it up with the throttle body. Make sure you push it in all the way. And now we can get it installed onto the air box. Slide it in from the back. Make sure you get it in here first. Push it through and lock it in. And don't forget about this one. We can now clip this harness onto this box, line it up, push it in. Now we can get it connected. Now we can go ahead and tighten this clamp. Do not over tighten this. This is only holding on to plastic. We can now go ahead and plug this in. Line it up using the needle nose pliers. Go ahead and squeeze on the clamp and push it in. Now we're gonna get everything closer to the manifold so we can connect this. Grab onto this hose, push it in, and now we can go ahead and connect this right here. Slide it in, and reinstall the clamp. When you do this, make sure you slide it into here. Now we can go ahead and install this 10mm bolt. Line it up and start it by hand. Go ahead and snug it up. And now we have another one that goes right over here. Go ahead and start the bolt by hand. Now get it snug. Now we can go ahead and install this 10mm bolt that goes right here. Move the hose so it lines up with the hole. Start it by hand. Now we can go ahead and do this one. Go ahead and get them snug. We can now go ahead and clip this hose onto this clip, just like that. And now we can connect this one. Go ahead and slide it in. Make sure you bottom it out and reinstall the clamp. Go ahead and get the reservoir back in. Simply line it up. Once you line it up, go ahead and install the bolts. And now snug them up. Now we can go ahead and install the engine cover. Make sure you line it up with the back. Slide them in. Now we can go ahead and install the 2 bolts that go in the front. And now go ahead and get them snug. Now that we have the fuel pump in the vehicle, we can go ahead and install the fuel pump fuse. We're going to be using the same fuse that we took off earlier. Go ahead and put it in. Make sure that it is all the way in. Go ahead and install the cap. Go ahead and install the negative terminal. Make sure that you bottom it out, and now we can get it snug. Do not over tighten it, it will cause damage. From this point, you want to go ahead and run the vehicle, make sure that it runs fine, and also check for fuel leaks, and that'll be job done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.